So I think now we understand a little bit what happens in Galus. And we have Malchus of Atzilus, that is the source of creation, and physical creation, everything that happens in all the planets, and all of what happens, and wars, and fights, and peace, and harvests, and everything else that happens. And Malchus of Atzilus, its source is one with the source of the Neshamas of Israel. And Israel is in Galus, the whole world is in Galus. Of course, the world doesn't know that. And Israel doesn't know it either. So the Jewish government in the land of Israel is listening to what America will tell them about giving territories, God forbid, from Eretz Israel. Why? Because they're not aware even of where they came from, or what they are, what their purpose is in the world. What is redemption? So the redemption from Mitzrayim, so we came out of redemption. But what was redeemed in Mitzrayim? Okay, so we had a different perspective. Hashem created certain miracles, and then everybody said, oh, you're right, so there really is a God, and wow, look, he's the God of the Jews, he took them all out of Mitzrayim, and the giving of the Torah happened in front of 3 million people, men, women, and children, and all the nations in the world saw it, and everybody said, Hashem is God, he's the God of the Jews, and he's bringing them to Eretz Israel. Then what happened? Amalek. Amalek comes. And Amalek fights the Jews. Why? Amalek lost. It was almost abolished.
They wanted to cool them down.
He cooled them down. He showed the world you can fight the Yidden. And then from there on, Amalek and the Klippa of Amalek has a purpose in this world. The purpose of Amalek is what? Doubt. It brings doubt. Reintroduced doubt. And all of a sudden, the miracle that happened 5 years ago, 20 years ago, 100 years ago, 500 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Okay, at the beginning, okay, was it really a miracle? But okay, Hashem does a lot of miracles. Then all of a sudden, well, it was a pretty special thing, but it was kind of a coincidence, and you can kind of explain it, and who knows what it really means, until, okay, it's a fairy tale. And what's the point of this whole thing? The world runs itself. There is no God. Everything is random. That's Galus. So one more time of Hashem revealing himself with lightning bolts and chariots of fire is going to just repeat the same process as before. What is the complete redemption? The complete redemption is where creation itself, people in the world themselves, without the need of miracle, would themselves progress scientifically, socially, to the point where they come to recognize that Hashem is God, and he's the God of Israel. And once mankind reaches that level, on its own, so to speak, it's like the lower being elevated. There's two functions in Kabbalah, from above to below and from below to above. Above to below nullifies the below. That's why when there's a great revelation from above, the below is nullified. Once the below itself, the lower worlds, are elevated, they're elevated forever. And this, if you're trying to elevate a house, if you're elevating the lowest part, you're elevating everything with it. That's why specifically in the darkest world, in a concealment, in the Megillas Esther, when there's no miracles and Hashem's name is not mentioned once, Dafka there is the Gilui of Atzmus Ein Sof. Dafka there is the Gula Shlema.